welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're taking a detour from Gotham Knights because some exciting news has come to the forefront. God of War is going to be coming to PC in January of 2022. This was a nice surprise. This was quite exciting to hear, and there's so much to discuss. If you want to watch a God of War review, I have one on the channel that I made a while ago. It's basically a retrospective. It's not necessarily a review in that sense, and it's just a game that I really do enjoy. So hopefully, if everything goes according to plan and, God willing, nothing crazy happens, you'll more than likely be seeing God of War content on this channel when the game releases. But nonetheless, let's look at why this game is kind of one of the more important games that many people need to pay attention to, because it appears that the landscape is shifting even faster than we would have thought. So on my other channel, where I talk about Tom Clancy's The Division and some other kinds of video games, I somehow found myself in a place where I made a video about Spider-Man, saying that there's a possibility that the Spider-Man of 2018 was going to someday make its way to PC. Now, I was in a sense told to calm down because that just sounded ridiculous. In fact, I'll leave a link to that video for you guys so that you can actually see. A lot of people did not take the bait. They said, no. There's no way that is something that Sony would do because of all the competition. But little did they know that Microsoft had been, in a sense, enjoying a secret customer base that Sony did not have access to, and that was the PC customer base. You see, every or almost every benefit that the Xbox and Microsoft enjoys on their console, they make by default available to PC players if possible. And I say if possible because things like Xbox Live Gold don't apply on PC and those little discounts or whatever. But PC players can go to the Microsoft store and buy a game if they wanted to. If there was a sale, they could purchase from there. They could purchase from Steam. So having all of those just provided a lot more options. And for those who may think, well, not a lot of people have PCs because right now GPUs are expensive, I say you're judging based on 2020, 2021. You're not judging based on 2016, where the reports actually showed that PC gaming exploded. A lot of people went into PC gaming. There are people who were playing Fortnite on consoles and decided, I want to go on the PC platform, and they went and bought a PC in 2016. This is when graphics cards were very affordable to buy. Remember when the Bitcoin mining bust actually happened and graphics cards flooded the markets? It really drove down the prices of people that were, for people that were trying to build their PCs. So there are a lot of PC gamers out there who still have their rigs and will be happy to dust it off and play this God of War game, or even those who were hardcore PC players and said, I'm not buying a console for anything, who are going to be able to get this game and play it. So a lot of people are excited about this. And Sony, in my opinion, wants to kind of get a little bit of their hand into this market. And we've seen this. This is not the first Sony exclusive game or PlayStation exclusive game that's breaking its exclusivity to not just be a PlayStation exclusive now, but to be a PlayStation console exclusive and make its way into Steam, even Good Old Games, and some of the other, marketplaces that are available. Now, yes, you're not going to see God of War in the Windows Store, unless, of course, they somehow, say, well, you did something cool for us with Deathloop, Microsoft, so whatever. I'm just being silly at this point. But, you look at Days Gone, you look at Horizon Zero Dawn, you look at Kojima's Death Stranding, these three games have made their way to the PC platform. So God of War is kind of a shocker, not shocker, but still it's like one of Sony's really exclusive games. And for it to be breaking that mold is quite interesting. So that's the first part of this. The second part, I think, and this is my opinion, is Sony wants to use the strategy that many of the big corporations will use, or even food companies. You see, many food companies will give out samples of some of their, foods or maybe some of their condiments and just try to see what, the customers are thinking or how the customers respond. And if the customers like it, then they've, basically won themselves a new customer or a new fan. And I think Sony wants to try this strategy as well by doing this, because you see, God of War Ragnarok is expected to come out in 2022. So, if you think about it, they're releasing the first God of War game on PC in this period. So it not only is a coincidence, it's probably one of the best set coincidences that you've seen in this Q4 of 2021. To that, I say big ups to them. It will more than likely push Microsoft even much more harder to continue to bring some more quality games. And Microsoft has been acquiring a lot of these other studios. And I think that's probably where we're going to be seeing a lot of, the video game market now start to maybe, in a sense, hopefully rise up from the ashes that it's been in the past few years, with all of the, very interesting free to play and, trash monetization policies that these gaming companies have tried to implement in some of their titles. Hopefully, this is going to drive them to now start looking at quality games, because what Sony is bringing to the PC platform is their quality games. That's what Sony has always had to offer more than anything else. They make sure that these games are made with the highest or the best possible quality, and then they release it on their consoles, and everybody else is like, wow, that's a good game. Even if they don't buy the game, they can acknowledge that fact. So this is something that I feel and I believe everybody needs to pay attention to. And then if we really wanted to go in a little bit deeper, because this is something that you have to consider, we also have to go back and remember that Horizon Zero Dawn did not get the strongest of, releases. In fact, there were some optimization issues. I remember that stopped me from buying it. I was going to buy the game immediately, but there were some optimization issues, so I waited a little bit, and then I finally got the game. Even though I got it for a discount as well, which was quite nice. But I hope that, God of War's director and, the development teams in charge of this, I don't know if the director is in charge, but whoever is in charge of this port to the PC would have learned a lot from the other games that were ported to PC themselves. Basically, if you think about all of this and you think about Horizon Zero Dawn, I didn't look at Days Gone or Death Stranding's performance, reviews and all of that, but I knew Horizon Zero Dawn suffered a little bit, but now it's actually an optimized game. They've already fixed a lot of the issues and fine-tuned the game. It runs very well on PC. In fact, I've actually played, some of it on the PC platform. And so I know for certain, though, that, Cory Barlog himself, he mentioned in a talk he did after the release of God of War in 2018 that he took one of his, top developers and they went to Naughty Dog to ask some questions because they were having some struggles in developing Atreus to be a character that you could actually control and a character that actually walked around with you and all of that stuff. And so I remember him saying, specifically that they had to go ask for help, and even Naughty Dog didn't even have any tips for them because Naughty Dog's system and the way they do the accompanying system is very different than the way Atreus' accompanying system is in a God of War game. So these three things, in terms of the corporate war, in terms of both of them trying to, both Sony and Microsoft trying to get their hands on the PC market, or I would say Sony trying to reach into the PC market, and then the fact that, they want to just basically see if they can sell more PlayStation consoles to people who already are playing on PCs, and then the possibility that, the experience from dropping some of these exclusives to PC will probably give them an upper hand in optimizing the game to work very well, which is something that PC players usually look at as a purchase reason or as a reason not to purchase a game. I think they more than likely have something going on here. We need to keep an eye on Sony because this is a very, very significant move and they're reaching into this territory and we're about to see some really cool stuff. Perhaps that Spider-Man game that I predicted might come to PC will show up soon. Who knows? Talk to you guys in another video. Thank you so much for listening. Peace out.